Hi, my name is Bente, I'm the Norse Witch, and I have prepared another community game for you. Yes, another community game. Sorry for the lack of more educational videos. I don't have another excuse than I am pretty burned out. I am going through a rough patch, so I'm trying to make things a little bit easier for me by doing more entertaining videos that don't need a lot of preparation before filming. So bear with me. The community game we're playing today is I am telling you what your ideal magical practice looks like on the basis of your astrological big three. So I asked, as usually on Instagram, for your astrological big three, so your sun, moon and rising sign. And on the basis of that, I will tell you what I know about your ideal magical practice. If you hear any strange sounds in the background, any little or any rattling sounds, then that is because of this little menace here. This is Charlie. You have met her already in the last video. She's still here, she's still playful and still loud, so if you hear anything in the background, chances are that's her. So without further ado, let's go. All right, first one, let's go. We have here a Pisces sun, Libra moon and Aries rising. I would say the combination of Pisces and Aries sounds like you probably are a person who hexes out of spite and vengefulness. I don't know, Pisces are very emotional and Aries, well, they lack control a little bit and they can get aggressive very, very fast and jump to conclusions very fast and jump into action very fast. So that combination kind of sounds like a little bit of hexing and cursing. But I think this combination of Pisces and Libra, especially a Libra moon, I think that balances it out a little bit. But the Libra, I think that brings in a little bit of justice magic. I think you would probably be very good at kind of bringing justice in one way or another, either through more vengeful means, more baneful means with the Aries, but also less baneful means. So I think that justice aspect is very much there, but it could go one way or another depending on kind of which sign you are listening to. Oh, by the way, with the Pisces, I think there's probably also a big influence of divination, maybe things like ancestor work. There's definitely a deeper spiritual side to it, more of a side of I want to go deep and I want to know the truth. I want to know what's behind the veil. Okay, next up, Pisces, Sun, Aquarius, Moon and Leo rising. Okay, the Leo rising sends me instantly into the glamour magic direction. Of course, it always does. But here we have the Aquarius. And Aquarius is kind of the revolutionizer of the zodiac, so the one who brings in a lot of change, especially when it comes to social justice and things like that. It's a little bit similar to Libra, but Libra I think is more of, they have a sense of justice when it comes to like relationships and things like that, more private matters. But Aquarius is very much out for the good of all, so they are more of the politicians, let's say. So I think there is that element, especially in the combination with the Leo rising. I kind of feel like you could bring a lot of change, and I think you could also be pretty good at road openers, I think. And with the Pisces, again, there's this depth element. I think there's still divination, spirit work, looking behind the veil, trance work, things like that. That's kind of that influence of this watery Pisces. Next up, we have a Scorpio sun, Pisces moon and Libra rising, so a little bit more watery. We have a lot of Pisces right now. A little bit more watery, but we have the Scorpio and Pisces. Scorpio is very much out for transformation, but also revealing the truth, and that also comes up when it comes to revealing the truth on the spiritual side, if that makes sense. And Pisces is kind of similar. Pisces is very into dream worlds and the other worlds and magical stuff and spiritual stuff. So there's definitely this deep, deep depth. I think I see ancestor work there, especially with the Scorpio and Pisces combination. Spirit work for sure, divination. I think with the Libra, Pisces, Scorpio, I kind of see Libra always a little bit as the water sign in the air signs. So Libra is an air sign, but I think it's a little bit, it has a little bit of the water influence, if that makes sense. I kind of feel like with this combination of Scorpio, Pisces and Libra, there's probably also a lot of more, I don't know, I don't want to call it mental health magic, but kind of magic that is out for feeling good in your body, feeling good when it comes to your mental health, when it comes to your emotional state. What is it called? There's a word for it. I don't want to call it wellness magic, but kind of like that a little bit, because Libra is also very sensual. They're very much about feeling everything, hearing, seeing. They want to involve all of the senses. So I kind of feel like that there is that wellness aspect with Libra for sure. Okay, then we have something a little bit different. We have Taurus Sun, Virgo Moon, and Cancer Rising. So we have 2 earth signs and 1 water sign. The earth signs for sure bring a lot of grounding, probably a lot of herb craft, maybe kitchen magic, especially with the Taurus influence. I think that brings a lot of kitchen magic. And the Virgo loves to nurture others. And sometimes that is through cooking. So I think kind of kitchen magic, home magic for sure, especially with the Taurus, Virgo, and Cancer. Cancer is a homebody and they love to take care of their family and things. Taurus usually always stays at home. And Virgo, again, likes to nurture. So I think there's a lot of house revolving magics, maybe working with the house spirit, kitchen magic, healing magic also, I think, with the Cancer and Virgo. They're both very nurturing and they're very much out to look out for other people. What I want to say here, though, is take care of yourself too, because those signs and combination. Taurus, I think, brings it in a little bit because Taurus likes to treat themselves. But Virgo and Cancer in combination, I think they are very much geared towards caring for others. And especially with the Virgo, kind of sounds like there's too little care for yourself. So maybe you should bring that in. But in general, I think, yeah, what I already said. Very nature-based, maybe herbal, kitchen magic, maybe working with the house spirit, anything house revolved, making everyone feel nice and cozy, making sure that your house is always not only physically but also energetically clean and decluttered. That's what I'm getting from you. Okay, next up we have something interesting. Aquarius Sun, Sagittarius Moon, and Scorpio Rising. So with the combination of Aquarius and Sagittarius, I for sure see you bringing in lots of change through your magic, a lot of road openings. I think you could be very gifted at road openings because I think Aquarius is a change bringer and Sagittarius is very mercurial and they like to explore new things and new adventures. So I personally really like to work with Sagittarius for road openings. So I think that combination of Aquarius and Sagittarius, I think that's great for that. We also have the Scorpio here, which of course again brings in that depth and maybe a little bit of an ancestral element, maybe a little bit of a darker shadow worky aspect. I mean, with that combination, maybe you should work with like crossroads spirits or something like that. I don't know why, but I'm kind of seeing, I literally just got the image of a graveyard. I don't know why, maybe it is the Scorpio influence. I don't know, I just saw it literally. Maybe that is there or it should be there. Okay, next up we have a Capricorn Sun, Aquarius Rising, and Aries Moon. You would probably be good at baneful work, for sure, if it is to not necessarily bring injustice, but to get revenge at someone. I don't know. That Capricorn-Aries combination, that definitely doesn't want to get fucked with. So I think that could be there. I think you for sure get what you want through your magic. That's what I'm seeing also with the Capricorn and Aries. But the Aquarius, I think, brings in a little bit more of that greater good, revolutionizer energy. So you're not just out for your own gain, but also for the greater good. So that's nice. What I could see here is maybe success kinds of workings. And not only for your personal gain, but also for others. So in general, maybe like success and job workings and things like that. Kind of sounds like you could be good at those. We have a Sagittarius Sun, a Taurus Moon, and a Gemini Rising. That Sagittarius and Gemini, they are very changeable both. I kind of see Sagittarius as the Gemini of the fire signs. So I mean, there is that influence of Taurus, which is very, very grounding and not very changeable. I think if you have one sign that is the least changing, I think that's Taurus. But I think since there is the Sagittarius and Gemini in combination, I think there is still a changeable aspect. For some reason, that brings me to the conclusion of some kind of folk magic, but with influences from different avenues, maybe even like chaos magic or something like that. Chaos magic with the Gemini Sagittarius would be very cool. So I kind of feel like there is this core that stays the same, that is maybe more traditional. Could be any tradition. Doesn't necessarily have to be a folk magic tradition. That could also be Wicca or a ceremonial tradition, but some kind of tradition. But then also there's influences of other things that always have to be new, and exciting. So I kind of feel like there could definitely be some chaos magic involved or something. But there is this core that stays the same. Ooh, then we have an Aries rising, Leo sun and Taurus moon, so 2 fire signs. Okay, you could for sure do a lot of self-confidence workings and things like that with that Leo-Aries combination that is very self-confidence and bold, and I'm here. So that is giving me glamours, that's giving me self-confidence stuff, that's giving me success workings, a lot of those like quick acting success workings. But then there's also that Taurus moon that's grounding it a little bit. But with that Leo and Taurus, I mean, Taurus is I like to treat myself, and there's also Leo who also likes to treat themselves. So maybe there's this sensual self-care aspect. And I also would say that there could be financial magic involved. You could be very talented at financial magic. Maybe try that, especially with the combination of those quick working success workings with the Aries and Leo, and then the finance money spell side of the, I think, Taurus and Leo. That could be interesting. Maybe you should look into that. Next up, ooh, we have an Aries sun, Cancer moon, Pisces rising. Okay, so 2 water signs, and then a very, very changeable fire sign that is very impulsive and has very little self-control. So I would for sure say you could be leaning into baneful workings when you are hurt. So I could see things like more baneful cord cuttings or things like that. But there is not just that side. I don't think you run around willy-nilly cursing and hexing people. I just think that if you are emotionally hurt, then sometimes you could go into that direction. Not necessarily doing a full-on hex or curse, but just doing something a little bit petty. Let's just say it like that. But apart from that, we have that Cancer and Pisces. I think those 2 are for sure very psychically inclined signs. So I would definitely look into divination and trance work and things like that. But I would say especially things that are very free-flowing. So not necessarily, for example, divination techniques that are very analytical like tarot, but I would say very, very intuitive divination methods. So if you want to work with cards, then maybe look more into Lenormand than tarot. But I would say something like mirror scrying or tea leaf reading or osteomancy maybe. Something that is very, very intuitive and free-flowing. And I would also say look into spirit flight more than like very structured guided meditations or anything like that. Definitely look at something where you can work intuitively, because I think intuition is probably a very big gift of yours. I have a baneful worker here. Aries sun, Aquarius moon, Scorpio rising. I don't want to fuck with you. Let's just say it like that. The combination of Aries and Scorpio is very petty, very vengeful. So I think you are probably good at baneful workings, especially with that Aquarius. When it comes to, let's just say, hexing for the greater good, hexing bad politicians or something like that, you know? Or like baneful protective workings for people who go on demonstrations and stuff like that. There's definitely this justice aspect behind it, but you don't go through a, oh, I'm just blessing everyone around them route, but you're probably going down the baneful route. That's what I'm getting from this Aries-Scorpio combination here. Oh, that's interesting. Taurus sun, Capricorn moon, and Sagittarius rising. Okay, financial magic and job magic, things like that, for sure your jam. I would say also road openings, success workings, anything like that. That could be your thing for sure. With the Taurus Taurus and Sagittarius combination, I was about to say with the Taurus Capricorn, I was about to say it's probably more homey, more in the home magic, but with the Sagittarius that could also be very much different, so I don't really think it goes either way more, because Sagittarius is more outgoing, wants to adventure, but Taurus very much stays at home. I could see though something like kitchen witchery or something like that. I could see that. And I could also see nature. Oh, you know what I could see is a lot of work with local spirits, because there is 2 earth signs, so I think there is this tendency to work with nature, but there's also Sagittarius, and I think Sagittarius is more outgoing. So I would say maybe look into working with local spirits. I think that could be very interesting. Okay, we have here a Scorpio Sun, Cancer Moon, Virgo Rising. So again, I see here these nurturing tendencies of Cancer and Virgo. So I think your magic is probably more for others than for yourself. And with the combination of Scorpio and Cancer, so Cancer is a family and friends sign. They're very, very big about spending time with friends and family, and they just play a big role in their life. Where Scorpio is very fascinated about death and the darker aspects of things, and again, finding out the truth about stuff, especially when it comes to looking behind the veil. So that combination kind of leads me to ancestor work for sure. This combination of Cancer, Scorpio, and Virgo kind of leads me to think that your magic probably works best if you not do it for yourself, but for other people, for your friends and for your family. And also for your deceased friends and family, for your ancestors. So I think that element is for sure there. I could also see though something like a death doula would do, or healing work or something like that. All right, we have a Leo, Aries, Scorpio. Again, that is a baneful combination. That's a baneful magic worker right here. It's interesting because Leo and Aries together, I already said that. I think it's also a great combination for fast working, because they're fire signs, fast working success workings and like self-confidence workings and things like that. I think together with the Scorpio, that could be a good combination for doing like shadow work and things like that, and then bringing that into more self-confidence workings. But again, there's that baneful aspect with Leo and Aries who don't want to be fucked with, and the very vengeful Scorpio. So that's an interesting combination right here. Let's do a couple more, because I don't want to sit here for 5 hours, because I could. I got so many of your big 3. Which is great. You're always very happy about these. I'm happy that you like these. Oh, this is interesting. We have a Sagittarius Sun, Pisces Moon, and Taurus Rising. The combination of Sagittarius and Pisces is giving me spirit flight. That's giving me spirit flight, that's giving me guided meditations, trance work, anything like that, where you basically go adventuring in the other worlds. Could also be through divination or seership or something like that. But there is this Taurus which grounds it a little bit. That's great, because probably otherwise you would probably just be out and about in your dream worlds and not really in the here and now. I think that Taurus in combination with the Sagittarius could also lead to pretty good financial workings, because Sagittarius is adventurous and can do, I think, very good road openers, and then the Taurus brings in the financial workings and stuff. I think that could be very good. Also, I kind of feel like you probably really like ritual baths. I'm kind of getting that from the Pisces Taurus. I don't know why, but I'm getting that. Oh, we have a double Virgo, so Sun and Rising Virgo, and then a Pisces Moon. That is interesting. I think there is for sure lots of banishings and cleansings, lots of keeping your house energetically clean. I think that is more there than the Pisces influence, which is, of course, it is there. So maybe you include the house spirit in it, for example, or do some spirit work around the house or something. Also, the combination, I think, of Virgo, and Pisces, I think that could lead to a very good spiritual healer or something like that, because Virgo is so aimed at helping others, but then Pisces is very otherworldly. Like, Pisces is barely a human. Pisces is more spirit than human, honestly. Pisces is just constantly in the other worlds. The Pisces kind of brings in the spirit work aspect, maybe some dream workings. But the Virgos, the two Virgos, I think those definitely lead to keeping your house and everything, your own energy, your aura, everything very nice and clean and tidy and orderly. Because it's not just about being clean, but also about having this structure. I could also, with a double Virgo, I could see Virgo also really liking ceremonial magic. But my camera is overheating right now, so it's telling me to stop filming. So with that being said, thank you all so much for telling me about your big three. I hope you thought this video was entertaining. If you did, make sure to subscribe and give a thumbs up and ring the bell down below so that you're notified whenever I upload a new video. If you want to keep up to date with my more personal life, then check out my Instagram. And if you want to support this channel, then check out my YouTube membership or my Patreon. And I will see you in another video. Bye!